All right. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. Got pretty good slate of games today. Got three NBA playoff games tonight. Got Major League Baseball. Got some NHL playoffs. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. I went 4-4 yesterday on my picks, so I went 3-1 in Major League Baseball. Done real good in baseball. Had one of my first off nights in the NBA on the playoffs. I've been doing pretty good on the NBA playoffs, but last night I was 1-3.
I snuck it up. I was 3-5.
So I had, like I said, a good day in Major League Baseball, but only 1-3 in NBA last night. So give me 1 second here, and I'll get this pulled up. Just finishing sharing a few things. Had some pretty good playoff games last night. We were talking a little bit about a little bit before the show. You had Jimmy Butler go off for 56 points. He's one of like only 5 players to score over 50 points in a playoff game like that. And I think he's the fourth highest scoring playoff game. But he carried them. He willed the Heat to a victory last night. I mean, the Bucks was leading that whole game until like the final 3 minutes, and that actually came back and took a 2-point lead again. But Butler he willed that team to a win. So he dropped 3-1. You have two play-in teams, two teams that were in the play-in to make the playoffs that are up 3-1 on the verge of advancing with the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers. Miami Heat are the 8th seed, and they're up 3-1 on the number 1 seed Bucks, and you have the Lakers, the number 7 seed, up 3-1 on the number 2 seed Grizzlies. In a game last night that was Lakers and Grizzlies. This was a real good game. Lakers in the first half got a little bit of a lead, got a little bit of a space, but right before halftime, the Grizzlies closed it back to almost, I think it was around tie game at half, if I remember right. And then second half was just back and forth mainly the whole game. I thought John Morant played pretty good, especially with the injury. But the Lakers, more guys stepped up on the Lakers team. Nobody really stepped up on Memphis side where you had Reeves and D'Angelo Russell and some of these other guys really step up. LeBron didn't have his best scoring night. I think he had 20 points, but he also had 20 rebounds. So I mean, he had another good game. Anthony Davis didn't show up offensively. He played pretty good defensively. Had some big blocks, but only like 9 points offensively. For the Lakers to make a deep playoff run, Anthony Davis gonna have to play better offensively. Let's see here. Pull this up.
Yeah, in hockey, man, I tell you what, they had a couple more games going overtime. I think they've said so far in the NHL playoffs already, if I remember correctly, they said they've already had 10 overtime games.
It could be.
So, I mean, hockey's been really good.
Glenn, good afternoon. Glenn says he's going to his first Indians game on Friday. You'll have a good time. That's a nice ballpark.
Yep.
I love going there to the Indians games. Haven't been one to this year yet. We went to Fort Wayne Tin Caps a couple weekends ago in Fort Wayne. Glenn, that's a real nice ballpark. That'd be somewhere to go.
Yep.
But no, the Indians. I'm surprised this is your first Indians game living so close because Indians. It's not expensive and it's some good baseball. So I mean, AAA
you might check out some of the Tuesday games. Some of the Tuesday games they have like real cheap food, and I think it's usually afternoon games.
Yeah, they have like dollar. I know what they used to have like on certain days, dollar days, and have like dollar hot dogs, dollar drinks, and stuff. But still, you can get for $12, $15. You can sit pretty close. Sit right. I think we sat behind home plate that one time. I think we paid $15, $17, something like that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ballpark. Pretty good baseball. They're the minor league team for Milwaukee.
Berger in Boston is throwing out the first pitch Friday. Can't miss it. Yeah, that's like I said. We went to a lot of Indians games over the years. It's always a good time. So you'll enjoy that. So I haven't been to one. It's been a little while since I've been to Indians game. Been to a couple of the Fort Wayne games, then going to a Reds game here in about a month. Which would be It'd be the first time seeing the Yankees for me.
Yep.
I know you've seen them before in the
Yep.
World Series, but
Well, I seen them a couple years ago too.
oh yeah, for you and Billy went.
No, I went with Darren to
Oh
see,
yep,
see the White Sox and Yankees.
Your White Sox and Yankees. Yep, I remember that now. White Sox and Yankees. You said that was a real good. That was in Chicago.
That was in Chicago. Sellout crowd. Went in extra innings. Man, that crowd was nuts. It was awesome.
Well, you real quick before we get into the slate of games, what do you think of the White Sox stadium ballpark?
When I went on early on a few years ago when it first opened with the family, because we got family that lives in Chicago, I wasn't very impressed with it. I don't know if they made changes. I don't know if it was because it's such a big crowd. I thought it was a lot better when I was at that Yankee game. Of course, we cooked out and stuff out there in the parking lot. Then we went inside, and the atmosphere was great. So maybe that made a difference. I know we went that one time and went a big crowd. I just wasn't real impressed with it. But I was more impressed the last time, and maybe they made some changes because I don't know.
Yeah, because when I mean that's the reason I asked you, because everybody talks about how nice of a ballpark that is. And the first time I've been there once, and that was the first time you were talking about, and I wasn't impressed. It was to me, it was one of the lower level ballparks that we'd been to. But since then, I've heard a lot of people talk about how nice it is. So I didn't know if they made some changes or what.
I don't know.
And that's why I asked you that, because you've been there more than once. But because honestly, if I go by the diamonds I've been to, the White Sox was in my least two favorites. White Sox and probably the Nationals.
Yep.
Were my least two.
I've heard a lot of bad things about the Tigers, and I really like the Tigers.
Yeah, I like the Tigers.
Of course, we went when it first opened. I haven't been since.
I really loved Camden Yards there in Baltimore. I thought that place was awesome. It's a small park, but I thought the way it's made down like in a hole, I thought was awesome. Glenn said he went to the COVID watch party there for Pacers playoffs in 2020. Yeah, it's a nice facility. Real nice facility. But yeah, I really love Great American Ballpark, and not just I'm a big Reds fan. I think Great American Ballpark is a great place to go watch a baseball game as well. Yep. Just only bad thing about baseball is only thing I can say about baseball, don't go to a day game in July, August.
It ain't for me. I can't do it. Maybe I'm just a big poo, whatever. But
well, I mean, I done it, and it was hot. I can't do it. The rest of my family that day looked like they were about ready to die.
Yeah, I can't
there for a little bit.
I'll be straight up honest. I can't do it.
All right.
I go night games. Even though we are going to.
Well, I'll go to day games in like May.
Well, we're going to a day game May 21st.
Yeah, I'll go to day games in May, late April, May. But once you start getting late June and on.
Well, the thing that helped sell me on that day game May 21st, it's a Sunday. It's 11:35 game. It's one of them Peacock games. Special game. So being 11:35, that even helped me a little bit more. It'd have been a 4:00 game. I don't know. I may give second thoughts about it.
All right. We'll start in baseball. Then we'll jump into the NBA playoffs. I know you probably have some NHL.
Yep.
Got pretty big slate of baseball games today. I got 4 games I like. Was 3-1 on baseball yesterday. First game I like is going to be the Boston Red Sox, Baltimore Orioles. Orioles are 1.5 run favorites at home, -158 on the money line. Excuse me. The Red Sox are +134 on the money line. Over under is at 8.5. The Red Sox are 12-12 on the season, 3-2 over their last 5. They have Kluber on the mound tonight, who has an 8.50 ERA. The Orioles are 15-7 on the season, 5-0 over their last 5. They have Bradish on the mound tonight. He'll be making his season debut at 0.00 ERA. I like the Orioles here at home on the money line. Orioles, I think, won 5-2 yesterday, if I remember correctly, over Boston. So I'm going to go with the Orioles again today. Glenn says he's used to the heat with the times he's been to the 500 and Brickyard. I can do it, but it's not. I mean, it's just not. I prefer not to, but I mean, if there was a game I really wanted to see, I'd go to it.
I can't do it.
Now I took my family at that game, my girlfriend at the time, all and my son and everybody, and they all looked like they were going to die there for a minute, for a few. My son, he went back into the grandstand area for a few, and he came back and he looked like a totally different person. He had a great, and he was fine. But he got too hot there for a minute. I mean, we had a good time. Got to see a fight and stuff. But yeah, it was hot. Plus, we sat out in left field where there was no. I mean, there was nothing over you. We didn't have no shade or nothing. We was just out there. Next game I like in Major League Baseball is going to be the Houston Astros against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays are 1.5 run favorites, minus 188 on the money line. The Astros are plus 158 on the money line. Over under is at 7.5. Houston is 12-11, 4-1 over their last 5 games. They have Garcia on the mound tonight, who has a 5.14 ERA. The Rays are 20-3 on the season, 5-0 over their last 5 games. Still haven't lost at home yet. They have Ross Musin on the mound tonight, who has a 2.01 ERA. I like the Rays on the money line here against the Astros at home. Rays won the game yesterday. They have one of their better pitchers on the mound tonight, so I'm going to go with the Rays again. Next game I like, White Sox against the Toronto Blue Jays. The White Sox are the Blue Jays are 1.5 run favorites at home, minus 205 on the money line. The White Sox are plus 172 on the money line. Over under is at 9 runs. The White Sox are 7-16 on the season, 0-5 over the last 5 games. They will have Clevenger on the mound, who has a 3.26 ERA. The Blue Jays are 14-9 on the season, 3-2 over their last 5 games. They have Berrios on the mound tonight. He has a 6.23 ERA. I like the Toronto Blue Jays here at the minus 1.5. And then my last game tonight in Major League Baseball that I like is going to be the Kansas City Royals at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are 1.5 run favorites at home, minus 142 on the money line. The Royals are plus 120 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 10 runs. The Royals are 5-18 on the season. They have Singer on the mound tonight, who has an 8.14 ERA. Diamondbacks are 13-11 on the season. They will have Nelson on the mound tonight, who has a 4.71 ERA. I like the Diamondbacks on the money line. My picks for the Major League Baseball, I got 4 of them tonight. Orioles money line, Rays money line, Blue Jays minus 1.5, and the Diamondbacks on the money line. That's going to be my Major League Baseball for tonight.
Okay, my Major League Baseball parlay for tonight, I got Boston at Baltimore. I'll take Baltimore money line. I got the White Sox at Toronto. I'll take Toronto money line. And then I have Texas at Cincinnati. I'm going to take Cincinnati money line.
Oh, you're going with Cincinnati?
I'm going for a win tonight with Cincinnati.
I thought about it. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at that game. I thought about it, and I did. Only reason I didn't is because, let me remember right.
Texas probably got their best pitcher going.
No, they don't have their best pitcher, but the Reds have Weaver on the mound. He made his debut last week. Gave up 4 runs in the first inning, but then after that, pitched real good. So I don't think he's bad, but I just haven't seen. He hasn't. Yeah. This is only his second start of the season.
Yep.
But like I said, he pitched pretty good last time after that first inning. He gave up 2 home runs in that first inning. Then after that, he didn't give up nothing. I think pitched another 4 or 5 innings. So he pitched pretty good after that first inning.
Cincinnati broke that 7-game lose streak last night. I'm just going to go that they're going to win a couple in a row. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
They could. I mean, when they get their bats going, they definitely have that chance.
They had the bats going last night. They hadn't had the bats going for about a week.
And I was looking. Reds have lost 7 1-run games. 1-7 and one run games. Their ERA pitching wise is 5.18. Just think if our pitching, a lot of it's our relief pitching.
Yep.
But if our pitching was a little bit better, where we could be at, because we're scoring. We go in spurts where we don't score runs, but a lot of times we score around a lot 3-4 runs a game. Most games, and you got to win some of them games.
We just hit a stretch last week where we had trouble scoring runs, and we lost games 1-0, 2-0. that did happen last week a few times, but for the most part, we have been scoring runs decently,
Yeah,
better than last
we've been
year.
scoring probably around close to 4 runs a game.
Yeah,
You should be winning more games than you,
like you
when
said,
you're scoring
our record is what now? 8-14, I believe.
something like that.
So it's 8-14. We've lost 7 games by 1 run. Say if we won 4 of those, we'd be 500 right now, or over 500.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's how
we've been more competitive
Yes.
this year than what we were last year, especially early in the season.
Yep.
Reds didn't play bad after that first month and a half last year. We played better this year, so hopefully, if we do like we did last year and we play better as the season goes, we shouldn't have too bad of a season.
Yeah.
But last year we just got too bad of a start.
Yeah, hopefully we can be competitive.
I mean, we still got. Don't get me wrong. It's got a long way to go to be competing for.
But I agree. I know you guys talked yesterday, and you knew how I feel about it. I thought we made a huge mistake letting Castillo go.
Yeah.
I think you keep him with a nucleus of young pitchers coming up, and then if they really say they're going to compete next year in 2024, you find that relief pitcher, you find a couple of relief pitchers, you find a couple of bats, and you're ready to compete especially with Castillo to be your main guy. And maybe that would have made it harder to just sign Green. I don't know what Green ended up getting money wise, but I know he signed an extension. I don't think it was a ton of money, which was a smart move on their part to sign him so early. I would do the same thing with the other 2 young pitchers. If you can get them signed to extensions for another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should sign India.
Yep. But right
and
now
we got that rookie Steer that's
Yep.
been playing. I mean, he's been playing at rookie of the year level.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but I mean, I think we've seen enough of Lodelo and Ashcraft to think that they're pretty close to being on par with Green. Actually, I think Ashcraft actually pitched a little bit better.
But the problem is we can't do like we done last time. Think about it. We had Sonny Gray, Wade Miley, Castillo. We had a hell of a pitching staff, and then we just blew it all up and got rid of all of our hitting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Try to sign these guys now, because you could sign them now before they hit their peak. Not even the peak, but before they're heading towards their peak, and you're going to have to pay a lot more money for them. Because I think they signed Green till another 5 years or something. He's not. Yeah, he's under contract for, I think, 29.
Something like that. Yeah, they signed to a 4 or 5 year extension. Pretty good money too. I mean, pretty good. He got pretty good money. Now he didn't get like crazy money, but he got a good deal.
That's what I'm saying. That was a very smart move on the Reds' part.
I'm wanting to say he got like 60 million, something like that.
I mean, if you can do that with these other 2 guys, man, or at least one of them, which one would you go for, Ashcraft or Lodolo, if you had to make a choice to sign?
I think I'd go with Ashcraft. He's to me, he's been a little bit more. He's a little bit more consistent.
I think Lodolo's probably got the higher ceiling, but I think Ashcraft's been more.
I think he's been more consistent.
Yep.
And Lodolo, don't get me wrong, I like to have both of them because Lodolo's been good. But
I just meant to sign right now. I'm not saying I want.
If I could only sign one of them right now, I think I would lean toward Ashcraft.
Hopefully, to get them both signed.
Yeah,
as soon as I can.
Then NBA playoffs tonight. We have 3 series tonight, 3 games tonight, and all 3 of these series are 3-1. And the home team in all 3 of these series is the team that's winning. So
we could have 3 series closing tonight.
Yep. You have the Celtics and the Hawks. Celtics are 13-point favorites, minus 900 on the money line. Over-unders at 230.5. Hawks are 41-41, 2-3 over the last 5. Celtics lead the series 3-1. I like the Celtics here at the minus 13. 13 is a lot of points, but Hawks are going to be without one of their best players and one of their scorers that's really been helping them, DeJounte Murray, for touching contact with the referee and stuff, being stupid. And he had a big game. Him and Trae Young are the ones that I know the series is 3-1, but they're the ones that kept when the Hawks have been competitive. It's because of them too. And he was a big reason why they won that game. A big reason why they won that game the other night. Now he's out. So I like Boston at the minus 13. I thought about the under I lean toward the under the 230.5, but I'm not going to give out that one. So I'm going to stay with Boston at the minus 13. Timberwolves and Nuggets. This is another series that's 3-1. Nuggets won last game to make it 3-1. Nuggets are 10-point favorites, minus 480 on the money line. Over-unders at 220.5. Timberwolves are 2-3 over their last 5 games. Nuggets are leading the series 3-1, 4-1 over their last 5 games. Nuggets have really controlled this series. Kind of let that game the other night, to me, kind of slip through their fingers a little bit. Jokic had another big game, and the rest of the team really didn't step up. I think they thought that it was 3-0. They were going, they didn't go in with enough intensity. And that happens sometimes when you're up 3-0. I think that's why you don't see as many sweeps as you could. I think that's why you see a lot of the 4-1s, because teams get up 3-0 and then they don't come in with that sense of urgency for game 4. And I think that kind of got Denver. I like Denver tonight at the minus 10. And I also like the over the 220.5 in this game. 3 out of the 4 games so far in this series have went over the 220.5. There's only been one game that hasn't. So I'm going to go with the Nuggets at the minus 10, and I'm going to go with over 220.5 for the Timberwolves Nuggets game. And then last NBA game tonight, Clippers at the Suns. Suns are 12.5-point favorites, minus 800 on the money line. Clippers are plus 560 on the money line. Over-unders at 224. Suns lead the series 3-1. Kawhi Leonard is not playing again. I'm pretty sure, as far as I know. Let me double check that. I think from what I heard, there was no timetable for his return, so I don't think he's playing tonight again. I didn't even look really to see. I was kind of assumed that he wasn't playing because I heard yesterday no timetable for his return, so I figured he was missing again. And of course, they don't have Paul George. The Clippers are going in shorthanded. I like the Suns at the. I like the Suns to win this game, but yeah, Kawhi Leonard is out. I think the Suns win, but I do think that this will be a closer game. So I'm going with the Clippers at the plus 12.5. Like I said, I think the Suns win, but if you look, the Clippers have played the Suns close most of these games.
What's over under?
Over under. Hold on, I'll have to get back to look at it real quick because I went off that page. What did I just do? Over unders at 224.
That's where I had it, but I know sometimes it's different.
I mean, because if you look at the game so far, Clippers won the first game by 5. The Suns won the next game by 12. Suns won the next game by 5, and then they won the last game by 12. So they've really only covered the 12.5. Well, once they covered the 12.5 once. Clippers have, even without Kawhi, have kept the game pretty close. So I'm going to say I'm going to go with the Clippers at the plus 12.5, even though I think the Suns win the game. So my NBA picks: Celtics minus 13, Nuggets minus 10, and I like the over the 220.5 in that game. And then I like the Clippers at the plus 12.5.
My NBA parlay for tonight, I got Atlanta at Boston over the 230.5. I have Minnesota at Denver over the 220.5, and I've got the Clippers versus Phoenix over the 224. So I'm taking all the overs in those NBA games. And I have a parlay for the NHL tonight. I got the Islanders at Carolina. I got Carolina money line win. Minnesota at the Dallas Stars. I got Dallas Stars money line win. And I got the Kings at the Edmonton Oilers. I'll take the Oilers money line win.
I do. And then there is a player performance double on FanDuel I like. Hey, how's it going, Billy? He says, go Celtics. I think Celtics close it out tonight. But you can get Jason Tatum to have a double-double and Boston to win at minus 106. I like that. There's NBA playoffs haven't been too bad. All the injuries have kind of sucked, especially when all you hear about all season is they tell you that the regular season don't mean nothing because they want to be healthy for the playoffs, and then all these guys are hurt for the playoffs. So basically shows you that that load management to me is just a bunch of bull crap. Hey, how's it going, Anthony? Thanks for joining us. I mean, you look how many of these players set out all these games and now are hurt. Kawhi Leonard is the face of it. He's going to set out these games, so he'll be able to play more minutes in the playoff, be more effective. Play 2 games now, can't play no more because his knee hurts a little bit. And sometimes, and there's a difference. If you're injured, I understand, but sometimes you got to play when you're a little hurt. Look at John Moran out there last night playing like a madman, out of control, driving, fell in that hurt hand. I don't know how many times. Yeah. He was playing with reckless abandon, and he's hurt, but he's out there doing the best he can. Giannis came back trying to play. I mean, you got to show a little heart and play, and that's one thing that bothers me about Kawhi. I mean, I'm not gonna say never, but right now he's still under contract with AEW. So until that ends, he can't sign with WWE. Do I think it's a sign that maybe it could happen in the future that he's there and he was there and he was talking a little bit. I know they did ask him to leave. From what I heard, they asked him to leave because he's under contract for another company.
I heard Vince was not there, but Vince found out he was there and asked to have security ask him to leave. He supposedly left with no issues, no problem.
He probably, you would think he'd understand. I mean, you're under contract with another company that, but him talking to Triple H, I think is a big thing. I think
they said he talked to the Miz, and him and Miz have had problems. The rumor is that they squashed their issues. And again, who knows what happened?
Yeah.
I mean,
but I do think talking to Triple H, if he talked to Triple H, I do think that could be a big thing.
I heard they hadn't talked since 2014.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if they did talk, that could be. I mean, that's a big. I think that's a big thing.
But do you think that's a? Let me ask you. Do you think it's a good look? I mean, maybe Tony Khan knew he was going. Who knows? But do you think it's a good look that the rumors is you have issues in AEW with some of the people there, and they're supposedly going to make a new program and put you on Saturday nights to keep you separated from other people, and now you show up at WWE backstage
reconciling some of your differences
or just showing up there.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? So reportedly reconciling some of your differences.
Doesn't that sound like strange timing to a strange situation?
Weren't they in Chicago? Or?
They were in Chicago, and he lives in Chicago. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It does a little bit. I mean, if you're
I
don't think that's the smart.
If you're trying to work out things with,
I don't think that's the smartest move on his part. If you're trying to work out things,
if you're trying to work out things with AEW in the backstage and with everybody in the backstage and everybody. Doesn't that seem strange to go to the WWE show?
It does a little bit. I don't think
it's the smartest move.
Yeah, I don't think it's the smartest move if you're trying to. But hey, if you're thinking, hey, I've held these grudges over here with these guys too long, and it's time to end that. And I mean, it could end up being a good thing for him, but I do think it is kind of a strange move if you're really trying to get back into AEW. But hey, maybe he was seeing what his options are.
Maybe I don't know. It seems strange.
But if you wanted to see what your options are, why couldn't you just give Triple H a call or something? But I also say they're in your hometown. So I mean,
this is going to be ridiculous. Nick's giving his slice of pie. He's going to give the Lakers probably 50%.
I would say because he has that other thing because the Lakers ain't up there on his thing yet.
Yeah. And he had five teams that had no chance at all. They weren't even putting up there.
He has the Warriors at 7%.
It's going to be about 50% Lakers is what he's going to have.
He's nuts.
Well, he's a big Lakers mark. I mean,
yeah, I'd have the Nuggets. I'd have the Nuggets ahead of the Lakers. I think I'd have Golden State ahead of the Lakers myself.
Got 76ers, 16%. Because Milwaukee, they're down 3-1. But how much you gonna give Boston? Well, he ain't gonna do the Lakers. Yeah. He's gonna give Boston. He probably gonna give the Lakers probably about. Yeah, the way he's got it set up now, probably.
Yeah, he's gonna give the Lakers
probably about 20%.
Probably about 20. I don't think I'd have to. I think I'd have the Nuggets ahead of the Sixers myself.
I think I'd have right now with the situation of Milwaukee's in, I think the number one percentage-wise should be the Celtics. What do you think?
He's giving the Celtics 16. So he's gonna have the Lakers over 20. Right?
Yeah, pretty close. I can't add all that up. I'm not that bright. But
32. He's gonna have them around 18 to 20%. I wouldn't have the Lakers the favorites.
I wouldn't put the Lakers 20%. I wouldn't put the Lakers above Boston 76ers.
I'd put the Nuggets.
I don't think you can put them over. Maybe Milwaukee because Milwaukee's down 3-1. But I don't think you put them over Phoenix. I don't think you put them over Golden State. I don't think you definitely don't put them over Denver. I think that's ridiculous. That's just my opinion.
I think the Celtics should be the favorite right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, with what's happening in Milwaukee, I agree.
And I'd have the Nuggets behind the Celtics, and then probably the Suns and Warriors. I still think Milwaukee's going to win that series, so I'd have Milwaukee a little bit higher than what he does. I know they're down 3-1, so I can understand that. But to have the Lakers as your favorite, you're just showing that you're a big Lakers mark because
and I don't think Frankie would even do that. He's a big Lakers mark, but he's got common sense. I mean, I'm not saying. Hey, he said that
he said today, because I asked him, how realistically, how far do you think they can make it? And he said, as far as I think we could realistically make it would be to the Western Conference Finals. And he goes, but it'd be a real tough next series against the Warriors or the Kings. But he said, I think we could have a chance to get by that. But he goes, I think we'd lose to the Nuggets, which that's who it could be the Suns. But he thinks Western Conference Finals would be their. And I can understand that. I mean, that makes. Now, and that was him taking his fandom side out. Now you had his fandom in there. Hey, we're going to the championship, which I can understand that as well. But he also on today's afternoon show he broke it down where because I asked him, I said, take your fandom out of it. How far do you realistically think the Lakers can make it? And he said he thinks maybe the Western Conference Finals would be like their limit. I think if they win this series, they're going to get beaten in the second round. But that's just my opinion. I think the Warriors or the Kings will beat them.
Yeah, I always try to be realistic. Just like with me with the Reds. A great season for the Reds this year would be 80 wins. If they won half their games this year, pretty much half their games here would be a great season for the Reds this year. Do I want them to do better? Do I want them to make the playoffs? Of course I do. But I'm being realistic. I would be shocked if they did that. Now, if they did it, I'd be happy. But
Joe's Pizza. All right. Did you have anything else? I think that was all the picks, wasn't it?
I give my hockey. Yeah, I give my hockey.
So my picks one more time before we do get out of here today. Picks on the year are 231 and 192. NBA tonight, I'm taking the Celtics minus 13, Nuggets minus 10, and the over the 220.5. And then I'm taking Clippers plus 12.5. Like I said, I think Phoenix wins the game, but I think it's going to be closer than 12.5. And then in Major League Baseball tonight, I am taking the Orioles money line, the Rays money line, Blue Jays minus 1.5, and the Diamondbacks on the money line.
One thing real quick, get your opinion on something. Since Damon brought up WWE, Triple H made that announcement last night and put out a new belt, and they're going to crown another champion to be on one of the shows, whatever show that Roman's not going to be on. Wherever Roman gets drafted, the other guy will be on the other show, whoever wins that belt. First of all, who do you think they might go with to win that belt? That's not my main question, but.
Oh, man, I don't know. I was thinking about it a little bit, and Frankie mentioned the guy yesterday in the chat, last night in the chat group. I hadn't got to even ask you what you thought about it yet, because I've been doing the show today. But he mentioned Montez Ford.
That'd be awesome. And I think he's too far off the grid.
I think that'd be great. I don't know if that's the direction they'll go, just because, but I think that would be awesome. I told you last night. What about maybe Solo?
A lot of people have been mentioning LA Knight. I think he's too off the grid.
LA Knight is known. I think that would be awesome. I'd like that. But he's kind of like Montez Ford to me. He hasn't been. he hasn't been pushed up there yet.
I think one that
I mean,
Cody could happen, and they could still tie that in, to get one champion. People, well, yeah, you get back to one champion. I don't think the problem is having one champion, it's by having a champion that's going to be on TV all the time. That's where their issues got into, and they've been kind of backed into a corner, and they're trying with the TV deals and everything. They got to have people stars, So that's the other thing. It's probably going to be a star. So I'm going to say Cody's a possibility. I'm going to say maybe Seth Rollins.
That'd be a good one.
What
if they bring Braun Breaker up and make him the champ?
I think he's too far off the grid. That's just my.
Damon said it's already been leaked that the Bloodline is staying at SmackDown. Shit.
And then the other part of that was, what do you think of the belt? Because some people all the people that were raising hell about not having split champions, not having, champions on each program is terrible. All now bitching because they're doing this. So what?
I love the belt. I like the belt.
I did too.
I know Frankie really liked the belt.
I really liked it.
I've heard a few people that didn't like it. Really didn't that said they didn't like it, but other than that, I haven't heard a whole lot. But I haven't got on. I don't look at all the groups like you do.
Remind me of the one that Flair used to wear a little bit. I think it was definitely headed that direction. Try to be ode to that, and with some other modifications to it.
I like it. And I see what they're doing. I did kind of like how Triple H took not a real big shot at Roman, but was talking about how
he built up Roman. And then he talked about how who's been able to beat Roman, who's ever going to be able to beat Roman. The fact that Roman was smart in doing his contract, but he also took shots at him too. I mean, and that could be storyline wise. Yeah. But there's people said, man, Triple H buried Roman. There must be issues there. People are idiots.
He didn't bury him.
That's for sure. He built him up, and then he took some shots, but he took shots at a heel. I mean,
Damien don't. He says he hates the WWE logo on the belt. I don't get why WWE still does that.
Well, the AEW is the same thing. You look at their belts, got a big AEW on it. Most of them do that anymore. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I didn't have a problem with the logo myself. I really like the belt, but I mean, everybody's got their own, their own opinion.
Well, all right.
Seriously, I think we should do a show for the draft. And then plus, we're going to have that great big match.
Yeah.
It's that rematch.
I think what Friday
rematch of WrestleMania.
I don't think we have any.
I don't think so.
Anything Friday? Yeah, I mentioned it to him. I think Frankie actually said yeah, but
yeah, I think it'd be good. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll say something to him tonight at 7. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. We greatly appreciate it. Also, like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post everything. If you do it on Monday, I'm down. All right, Glenn. He'll be at the Indians game on Friday. And then, we could do
it Monday night too. After the show, we can go right into it, and then maybe not do the 11 o'clock show. I don't know if I want to be on the air from 6:30 till 12:30.
Why not?
Hell, Jay, keep us on to 2.
Hit that subscribe button on or like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. That's where we share all the stuff about our shows. We have big wrestling shows coming up May 5th, 6th, and 7th at the Indianapolis Comic-Con. We'll be live from there, so come join us for that. Also, Thursday night, we're doing a big draft show for the NFL. To cover the NFL draft, so join us at 7:30 Thursday night for that at Gonzo Sports Room on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. You can also find an unscripted as well. We're doing an unscripted and GSR combined draft show. Working on some wrestling interviews. I'll have some more information about those out real quick. We don't have no live wrestling this weekend, but we do have like I said, next weekend.
We'll make up
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll have multiple shows on those days. We appreciate everybody watching. My picks one more time before we get out of here. NBA tonight, Celtics minus 13, Nuggets minus 10. I like the over the 220 and a half in that game as well. And then I like the Clippers at the plus 12 and a half. Major League Baseball, Orioles money line, Rays money line, Blue Jays minus 1.5, and the Diamondbacks on the money line. We appreciate everybody watching. This has been Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're live Monday through Friday, right around 3:30 Eastern. Getting ready to be a little bit of changes made, so I think we'll be closer to 3:00 every day once that happens. But between 3 and 3:30, we're usually live Monday through Friday. We'll be back tomorrow at 3. Check out Unscripted tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll see. We will see you guys tomorrow. Hope everybody has a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow at 3:00.